Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to be playing around with the new Tarte Pro Remix palette, and this is their new palette they recently launched that is colorful. So Tarte has tons of eyeshadow palettes, but none of them are this colorful. This is Tarte's most colorful palette that they've ever come out with, and these are the shades inside. It is so pretty. All of these colors are so beautiful, and I really love that they came out with a colorful palette because, as you guys know, I love colorful eyeshadows. I really don't think there will ever be enough colorful eyeshadow palettes out there. Packaging is really cool. If you want to see me create a look with Tarte's most colorful palette and hear my thoughts on it, then keep on watching. So here is a look at the Tarte Pro Remix palette, and I really love the packaging. I personally think this is my favorite packaging they have ever done on a palette. It's really fun, and I just love it. I think it's super cool how you can move it around and you see like the paint drips move with it. I love packaging. Packaging is something that means a lot to me when purchasing a product, so I really love that about this palette. Also, what I really love about the packaging is it continues on inside the palette, so you still have those beautiful paint splatters and all that color inside. And let's talk about the shadows. I love these colors. I think they're really pretty. So there are 20 shades in this palette. Yes, 20. That is a lot. And I really love that there are like bronzes in here and golds, but there's also those vibrant colors. And what's really nice about the vibrant colors in here is that most of them are metallics, so they're gonna be a lot easier to work with rather than working with like a colorful matte shadow. I feel like those are always a little bit more advanced for a more advanced person who's using them. Shimmers are just so much easier to use. You could use any of these colors by themselves, like any of the vibrant colorful ones, just all over the lid. Metallics are always going to be easier to use than like mattes, in my opinion, and most of these are metallics, which I love. You do have a few mattes in here, of course, but most of them are like shimmery. There is tons of color in this palette, but I also love that there are golds and coppers and more wearable everyday shades as well that you could pop on if you didn't want to wear any of the color. But I think if you're buying this palette, you're buying it because you want the color that's inside, because there are some really pretty shades. According to the website description, this palette was inspired by all art forms and self-expression. You could totally see that. There are 6 unique finishes inside. There are matte shades, luster, metallic, duochromes, shimmers, floating glitter. Floating glitter sounds really, really exciting to me. I hope we can stumble upon the floating glitter that is in this palette. This palette retails for $49 on the Tarte website, and I will definitely have it linked below for you guys to check out. So I'm first gonna pick up this color here called Wall Art, and this is a really neutral brown shade for the crease. I feel like it would go with any of these colors really. So I just wanna say that the shadows in this palette smell really good. I don't know what the scent is, but it smells like kind of sweet. Kind of smells like chocolate or something. I don't know what the scent is, but it smells really good. So I'm just gonna blend this color right into the crease, and I'm gonna wing the shadow out, and this is just gonna be the transition for the green. I really wanna play with the green in this palette. It's just so pretty, so it's gonna be like a little base for that. I'm also taking that shade Wall Art, and I'm just gonna bring that down on the lower lash line a bit. And next I'm going to grab the shade Mixed Media, and this is like a matte bone color. And I'm going to go ahead and apply that onto my brow bone. And there are 3 mattes in this palette. This is the lightest matte that comes in the palette. I'm next going to grab the shade Color Explosion, and I'm going to be applying that all over my lid. And I'm going to bring that green on the lower lash line and really smoke that out. So I'm next going to grab the shade Art Deco, and I'm going to apply that in the inner corner of my eye. And now I'm taking the shade Splatter, which is the light silvery green in the palette, and I'm going to be using that on the center of my lid just to add a little glow there. And just adding that shade Color Explosion, that beautiful emerald green, into that outer corner and winging out the shape. To smoke everything out, I really want to use the matte black in the palette. It's called Ink, and I'm using a black liner in my waterline just to smoke everything out, and then adding that shadow right over top of that. So now I'm going to be taking a full coverage concealer, and I'm going to go ahead and cut out the center of my lid. So I'm first going to pick up the shade Art Deco, and I'm going to apply that on either side of where I laid the concealer. And then in the center, I'm going to apply the shade outside the lines. And lastly, I'm going in with the shade Color Explosion, and I'm gonna be packing that on the inner and outer corners of my eyes. I'm using a little bit of concealer on the lower lash line because I want to go in with some of those colors we used on the lid. I'm going to be using the shade Outside the Lines right in the center of that concealer. Then just applying those other blue shades like right on the outside to blend everything. Basically the same thing we did to the top, we're going to be doing to the lower lash line. And now I'm going to grab the shade Mixed Media, and I'm just going to be using that in the brow bone area to make sure everything really blends in with each other. And like always, I'm using some concealer just to straighten up that shadow line. So now I'm gonna apply some mascara and lashes, and I'll be right back. So the lashes are on, and I went in with the Tarte Eye Jewels glitter liner right on the inner corner of my eye. And this is like a gold liner, so I just went ahead and popped it right in that inner corner just to give it like that extra sparkle. Now I'm gonna be picking up the shade Ink, which is the black, and I'm just gonna go ahead and smoke out the lower lash line a little tiny bit. And the inner and outer corner of the eye. So before we get into blush and then lips, I'm gonna go ahead and apply some highlight. So I'm using the Tarte Exposed highlight. I am going to be cheating a little bit and using this blush palette from Tarte because I really want to use it, and this was actually for another video, but I'm going to use it. I'm going to be using the Life of the Party Clay Blush Palette and Clutch. This is a part of Tarte's holiday collection. I got this when I was in Sephora in Orlando on vacation for my birthday, and I have not used it, so I really want to use it. And I'm going to pick up this really pretty coral shade in the middle. It's called Pool Float. And that is really, really, really vibrant. I'm going to tap that off. It's a really pretty color. It's kind of like a corally orangey shade. And for lips, I'm going to be using their Tarte lip paint in Rosé. Now I'm going to add some gloss to the lips, and I'm using the Tarte lip paint in the shade Mermaid. And this is from their Mermaid collection. It has like a bluish kind of clear tint to it. It's really pretty. So I'm just going to add it over the top of this lipstick. Alright you guys, this is the final look using the Tarte Pro Remix palette, and I really like this palette. I love the colors in it, and overall I just really enjoyed the metallic shades are just really foiled. I didn't even have to spritz my brush once. So I didn't use any setting spray to wet my brush, and these colors just came out so pigmented and so metallic and foiled. So I really enjoyed those, and overall I just really love the colors. I think this has to be probably my favorite palette from Tarte that they've come out with. I think it's really pretty. I just love the colors. I thought it was amazing. Next time I do a look with this palette, I really want to use some of the neutral colors, and also I want to try the duochrome color in this palette because it looks really cool. Really like the palette a lot, and I hope you guys love this look. If you do love this video and you enjoyed watching it, be sure you like it and thumbs it up. Don't forget to subscribe for more tutorials, and I'll see you in my next one.